What if I told you that your favorite 90s cartoons weren't just colorful entertainment for Saturday mornings, but secret glimpses into our terrifying digital future? That Dexter's Laboratory foreshadowed the smart home takeover that's happening in your living room right now. Recess predicted the social media rating systems destroying teenage self-esteem, and Captain Planet warned us about an environmental apocalypse we're living through today. They didn't just entertain us, they were trying to warn us, and almost no one noticed. From smart homes that spy on us to social media algorithms that control us, 90s cartoons contained eerie predictions that feel way too real today. Whether it was intentional or just uncanny foresight, you're about to see how childhood nostalgia hits very different when you realize just how accurate they were. So, strap in, because once you watch this, you'll never look at 90s cartoons the same way again. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you grew up on these shows and this video blows your mind, make sure to smash that like button and leave me a super thanks. All that support truly helps me digging up these crazy stories behind our favorite childhood cartoons. I'll also leave the links in the comments to your favorite TV shows mentioned in this video. Before Alexa was spying on your conversations, there was Dexter, a boy genius whose laboratory assistant robot turned against him. Dexter's Laboratory first premiered on Cartoon Network on April 28, 1996, and it was actually the network's very first original series. Created by animation legend Genndy Tartakovsky, who would later go on to create Samurai Jack, Star Wars Clone Wars, and direct Hotel Transylvania. The show follows Dexter, a child prodigy with a secret laboratory hidden behind his bookshelf. He's constantly creating futuristic inventions and accidentally unleashing chaos when his annoying sister Dee destroys his experiments. But here's the wild part. Some of the futuristic stuff in the show, it's not futuristic anymore. In the episode Ultra Jerk 2000, which aired on October 22, 1997, Dexter creates the Ultramark 2000, a sophisticated robot assistant designed to help manage his laboratory. Sound familiar? The robot quickly becomes too smart for its own good, usurping complete control of Dexter's lab and forcing him into a battle for control of his own space. We now have Alexa, Google Home, smart security systems, and AI assistants that can control our lights, locks, thermostats, and cameras. What Dexter had in 1997 is literally sitting in our homes right now. And it gets creepier. One study found that cyber attacks on smart home devices have increased by 124% in 2024, with a home filled with smart devices targeted by over 12,000 unique scans/hacks in a single week. Home networks face an average 10 attacks every 24 hours, with smart home vulnerability risks led by TV sets at 34% of vulnerabilities, smart plugs at 18%, and DVRs at 13%. So basically, we're all just one hack away from living in Dexter's nightmare. The voice of Dexter was actually played by Christine Cavanaugh, who also voiced Chucky from Rugrats, and was literally the voice of Babe the Pig. Tragically, after retiring from voice acting in 2001, Christine passed away in 2014. Genndy Tartakovsky has stated he'll never reboot Dexter's Laboratory because, quote, "She was such the soul of Dexter, I don't feel comfortable trying to replace her in any way." Before Instagram likes were determining social status, there was the Ashley Cleek implementing a numerical rating system for playground popularity. Recess premiered on September 13, 1997, during Disney's One Saturday Morning block. Created by animation legends Paul Germain and Joe Anselabahir, the same minds behind Rugrats. This wasn't just another cartoon about kids at school. The show followed 6 fourth graders: TJ Detweiler, Jock Vince LaSalle, Tomboy Spinelli, Gentle Giant Mikey, Genius Gretchen, and new kid Gus, navigating the complex social dynamics of 3rd Street Elementary. Now, where have we seen that before? On January 22, 2000, Recess aired an episode called The Ratings Game, where the Ashley Cleek implements a numerical rating system for all the students. Every student receives an envelope with their rating. TJ gets a 5, Spinelli gets a 4, Vince gets a 9, Gretchen gets an 8, Mikey gets a 1, and poor Gus gets a 0. The ratings immediately fracture friendships, create social hierarchies, and cause kids to obsess over their numbers. Students with higher ratings refuse to associate with lower-rated kids. The system creates instant social stratification based purely on arbitrary numbers. Think about it. Recess predicted the way that we treat likes, followers, and social media metrics today. Sound familiar? For instance, teens say using social media hurts their productivity, and 45% say this about their amount of sleep. About 1 in 5 say it hurts their grades and mental health. Even more alarming, more than 1 in 10 adolescents showed signs of problematic social media behavior, struggling to control their use and experiencing negative consequences. 9 in 10 U.S. teens say they use YouTube. Majorities also use TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, with a share who say social media platforms make them feel like they have people who can support them through tough times, declining to 52% in 2024 from 67% in 2022. One study found that girls reported higher levels of problematic social media use than boys. So basically, the Ashley Cleek's rating system has become the blueprint for how an entire generation measures their self-worth. Ross Malinger, who played TJ in Season 1, was actually Tom Hanks' son in the movie Sleepless in Seattle. The creators worked with child psychologist John Arnold to ensure the show accurately portrayed child development and psychology. No wonder they nailed the social dynamics so perfectly. Before climate activists were warning about environmental collapse, there was Captain Planet fighting corporate villains destroying the Earth and losing. Captain Planet and the Planeteers premiered on September 15, 1990, created by media mogul Ted Turner and producer Barbara Pyle. The entire creation happened in the span of 1 hour. When Pyle met with Turner, she had no idea she was about to create a show that would predict humanity's darkest timeline. The show featured 5 teenagers from different continents who could summon Captain Planet to fight environmental destruction. But this wasn't just another superhero cartoon. It tackled overfishing, species extinction, wildlife poaching, irresponsible waste disposal, whaling, poverty, unsustainable food production, and rising ocean temperatures. But here's where it gets terrifying. In the very first episode, Gaia reflects on human activity and unsustainable practices, saying, "It's those poor, silly humans again. They're going to destroy my planet if they keep going on like this." The show's villains weren't fantasy monsters. They were corporate executives, polluting industrialists, and greedy developers who destroyed the environment for profit. Entire episodes feel like they were ripped from today's headlines. And it gets much, much worse. Air pollution accounted for 8.1 million deaths globally in 2021, becoming the second leading risk factor for death. In 2021, more than 700,000 deaths in children under 5 years were linked to air pollution. This represents 15% of all global deaths in children under 5, and means that every day almost 2,000 children under 5 years die because of health impacts linked to air pollution. 99% of people breathe air that exceeds World Health Organization's guideline limits. And worldwide, air pollution shortens average life expectancy by 2.2 years. 9 out of 10 deaths attributed to outdoor air pollution are in low and middle-income countries. One study found that environmental risks account for a quarter of the disease burden worldwide, with air pollution alone being responsible for almost 7 million deaths. So basically, the cartoon villains Captain Planet fought have essentially won in real life, and we're all living in their poisoned world. The voice cast was absolutely stacked with A-listers. Meg Ryan voiced the villain Dr. Blight. Jeff Goldblum played the rat mutant Verminous Scum. Martin Sheen was Sly Sludge. Whoopi Goldberg voiced Gaia. And LeVar Burton from Star Trek played Kwame. Tom Cruise was originally supposed to voice Captain Planet, but was replaced because the character needed to be like a big brother and encouraging coach, rather than a macho superhero. Before we lost trust in institutions, there was Batman fighting corruption in a broken Gotham City where even the heroes couldn't save the system. This animated series premiered on September 5, 1992, on Fox Kids. Created by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, this show redefined superhero animation with its revolutionary art style. They literally animated on black paper to create that darker, noir aesthetic that perfectly captured society's decay. The show followed Batman protecting Gotham City from both costume villains and systematic corruption. Episodes like Appointment in Crime Alley showed corrupt corporate executive Roland Daggett attempting to demolish poor neighborhoods through staged explosions to clear out residents for profitable development, despite City Hall rejecting his proposal. But here's the most chilling part. The show depicted a world where, despite the changes to the city, it retains the greed, corruption, injustice, and social and class divides of the old Gotham. Now, where have we seen that before? Batman TS tackled social issues like divorce, patent law, insurance fraud, homelessness, class prejudice, age discrimination, prison abuse, and animal testing. Themes that have only intensified in modern society. The show highlighted how corporate corruption and greed is at the root of almost all of Gotham's worst issues. Sound familiar? Pew Research Center data shows only 22% of Americans trust the government in Washington to do what is right. Just about always, or most of the time, in 2024, with trust hitting as low as 16% in 2023. Compare that to 1958, when 77% of Americans trusted the federal government. 63% of Americans have little or no confidence in the future of the U.S. political system. One study found that 59% of Americans feel frustrated with the federal government, with anger and discontent dominating public sentiment. So basically, we're all living in Gotham City now, except there's no Batman coming to save us. Mark Hamill's casting as the Joker was initially considered so unlikely that even fellow actors didn't believe he was the voice. Hamill actually replaced Tim Curry, who was originally cast as the Joker, but was let go after 4 episodes due to bronchitis and creative differences about the character's tone. So what does this all mean? Were these creators just incredibly imaginative? Or were they warning us? Maybe they saw the signs. Maybe they looked around at what society was becoming and did what artists do best, reflected our future through fiction. Or maybe, just maybe, cartoons are way smarter than we give them credit for. You can watch Dexter's Laboratory and feel nostalgic. But if you really look closely, these shows were holding up a mirror to our future. And now that future is here. From Dexter's smart home nightmare becoming our reality, with cyber attacks increasing by 124% in 2024, to Recess predicting social media hierarchies that now affect 11% of adolescents showing problematic social media behavior, to Captain Planet warning about environmental collapse that kills 8.1 million people annually, to Batman showing institutional breakdown that's destroyed public trust. The bitter irony? Dexter was supposed to be the smartest kid in the world, yet even he couldn't control his own creation. The Recess kids eventually broke their rating system by giving everyone 10s, but we never learned that lesson. Captain Planet inspired real environmental activists, but the villains won anyway. Batman kept fighting corruption despite everything, and we're still living in Gotham. Maybe the lesson isn't that these cartoons predicted our dystopia, maybe it's that they also showed us how to fight back. But we weren't paying attention because we thought they were just cartoons. So next time someone says cartoons are just for kids, send them this video, because now you know the truth. 90s cartoons didn't just entertain us, they predicted the world we're living in. And maybe, just maybe, if we had listened closer, we could have changed course before it was too late. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Drop a super thanks if this blew your mind. Seriously, this research was terrifying to put together, and your support means everything. Hit subscribe for more wild behind the scenes and hidden truths from your childhood that will change how you see everything. And check out the description for links to grab DVDs of these shows before they disappear forever from streaming platforms. What other cartoon predictions have come true? Drop your theories in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And if AI doesn't get to me first, I'll catch you next time.